Wanted to welcome you here to Sales Blanket Co. It's home to our right now Musqueam people, and we're so gracious to have this place where we can bring just a little bit of our history knowledge here and reflect, as you can see in the back, our homemade hand-spun textiles that had disappeared for about 80 years. And myself and my sisters and a group of women brought this back after all that time, and because of my love and passion for it, I've just continued to be blessed to have it. This is called the Mother Blanket. It's dedicated to mothers, on mothers who support and are there for you like 24/7 and walk with you through your journey. And so this is dedicated to women.
This is quite fascinating. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I guess to start, can you tell us about how long you've been doing this?
My passion in life was basketball first. I totally fell in love with it. It became my obsession. Once that stopped, moving on to what am I going to do with my life, this is where this enters. Some girls went out, came together in a room much like this one, and nobody knew what sales textiles were. Didn't know, never grew up with it.
Oh.
So for 85 years it was gone. Some of us in our research for finding ourselves in life found this and decided to really dive into our past. And everything we made had a reason to be made. It wasn't about being an artist in those days. It was about clothing, warmth. So I transferred everything I learned in sport into disciplining myself.
And when you talk about it being over 80 years that this tradition was lost for your culture, how did you come to learn the techniques that you needed?
We had to believe in ourselves the same way when somebody tells you you'll never accomplish anything in a sport. If you believe them, you won't. But we had great faith that we would do as much research as we could through the museum out at UBC. And we also had this woman who wrote a book, it's called Salish Weaving, Paula Gustafson, and she actually went around the world to every museum that held our blankets.
Wow.
And regalia, and cataloged it all and wrote a book. And so we took everything out of that book that we could learn from. We learned how to build our own looms like this. We had to teach ourselves how to spin, and luckily we had women who were spinners. So we were self-taught. We didn't have teachers.
Well, I'm curious about the colors, how you choose your colors and your patterns.
Yeah.
What I'd love to know.
Well, from what we, observed from all the old blankets that are in collections, and they're 200 years, 150 years. They were of the environment. So if you look around the environment in the spring, what are you going to gather, right? Dandelions from yellow. Green is horsetail or steonettle or moss off the trees. So everything around them was a reflection of the colors they used. And then today we are a little more contemporary, so figure out how to do these patterns is all about the mathematics.
Yeah.
And I sometimes go to schools and teach the kids about adding, dividing, subtracting through this work. So I was like, wow, we were already in school. Why did this happen? What happened to our 100 years of nothing because of this beauty, being able to step forward and bring it back into the world and share it with people and hopefully bring a better understanding to all of our ancestors who were so wrongly done here. And that's kind of our gift back to society, and we really reach back in time and are inspired.
Do your blankets ever tell stories? Do you ever put that in there, or is it more just a feeling of you have the colors and you create magic?
Well, I've been weaving for so long. Each one is unique, but they're based on the original colors as well.
Yeah.
But the stories that are attached to the blankets are forever will be with our history. We still use them in our ceremonies at home that no one knows about. We use them for now everything we do. We stand on them. That was something that the goal I worked towards was to sharing it with Vancouver and saying, let's wrap the city of Vancouver, because what is our identity today?
Interesting.
So it's not just a blanket, it's actually defining your rights in your family and the extended families and the families that live all throughout the Salish community, that we've always carried these values. And that's why today, if we get political, we negotiate based on who we are and what we stand on. And what we stand on got pulled from under us. Our blankets were pulled from under us, and we've had to endure a lot. And what these blankets do now is bring back, added to the strength of who we are. When you're moving forward, not only in Vancouver, but the world, and you're bringing that with you, you're also representing my history. So we like to share that as well and say that we're all on the masterpiece, all of us. There's a blanket somewhere in the world that maybe will be woven that represents all people. And that's the goal we all want to work towards. That's why we have the Olympics. That's why we have sport. It's supposed to bring us together, not tear us apart.
Absolutely. What was the last sort of blanket ceremony that you did? Do you have an example of...
My daughter was given her name, her Indigenous name, by my grandmother, and my grandmother passed when she was 8 months old. And it took till 2 years ago when we stood her up, and we prepared. I made her blanket, and we wrapped her, and we announced. And you call your friends and relatives from everywhere, and they come and witness.
Okay.
And you share that with your community. So that was 2 years ago, but to me, that never goes away. So when one of my friends is in trouble, I bring them a blanket to wrap them.
That's really cool.
When there's a funeral, I donate all my blankets for the ceremony that we have at funerals.
Yeah.
So they, to me, are meaningful in every part of our life, not just for certain ceremonies, but for ceremony of life, really.
Yeah, I love blankets. Whenever I travel, I buy a blanket. And so Nina knows I've got a whole stack of blankets at home.
Right.
Like, I got this in this city. I got this
Well,
here.
we'll have
I
to
got
get you
this on
stacked
this-
here.
Yeah, I got this on this street corner. I love blankets.
Wow.
I have more blankets than I do shoes. Like, I
Yeah.
love blankets. So.
Well, that's what I mean. I think all cultures, we love our blankets. As soon as we don't feel good, we get a blanket.
And it
We
is,
get
and it's
sick,
that-
we get
that
a blanket.
comfort. Or,
Yeah.
or like this. The
Yeah.
bigger, it can be a blanket, right?
Yeah.
You wrap yourself in it. Yeah.
That's what I feel so interesting is we're always observing around the world, and then we think lesser of our own community in Musqueam and in Vancouver, Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish, and people didn't know that we did these blankets, and they weren't just blankets, so they were our everything,
Yeah.
and
Imagine.
after they're cut, they're made into clothing,
Yeah.
and we gift people. We have a ceremony at the naming. We give everything away. Everything we own almost is given away because that's how important they are.
Shows a lot of resiliency to do what you've done and reteach yourself how to make these blankets. Like, I think it's very impressive, and it's amazing how many people you've introduced this to in your life. And I think that resonates with me in hockey too, because I look back 20 years, there were no women playing hockey here in Vancouver, and now we have people who can come to our games, and there's young girls who are learning what we do for our passion. So I think it's really cool that our stories align in that way, and we're able to just make the lives we touch and what we do so much bigger because of it.
You were playing for Germany?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So this blanket is all German colors, I've been noticing.
Oh,
So
is
that's
it?
cool. I mean, yeah, the red, the black, and
Oh,
the
wow.
yellow. So yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make this blanket?
Well, we actually prepare all our own wool. We start from splitting it, roving it, spinning it, dyeing it, preparing it. So probably 3, 4, 5 weeks preparing for one. And then after that, it's probably, I'm so much faster than I used to be. So it could be 2 to 3 months.
Wow.
Longer if I'm doing other things, which I do.
So it could take you like half a year or 12
Yeah,
months.
maybe. Yeah, probably between 3 and 6 months now because I know my work so well.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was always one of my dreams to do fashion because I thought, oh my God, these patterns are too beautiful to stay on a blanket.
Right, yeah.
And sometimes now I hand paint things and I take different patterns out of their comfort zone, and I also took them out of their comfort zone to do murals around the city of Vancouver. So it just keeps moving, and now I'm creating patterns all over buildings, not just murals. So we're putting some culture on the buildings throughout the city. Yeah.
That's amazing.
A lot of work, but fun, fulfilling.
Yeah, it is. It's you know, it's another way of educating. It's another way of, you know, people see it and they're wondering where it came from, and they find out it's part of their own history here, which they didn't really know anything about, and they're like, oh, wow, they do that, you know, like it's an education for sure.
Yeah.
What I admire about my history is we might not have played hockey, but we were sure strong in that we were canoe pullers. We were athletic runners. We were training. Like our life was being an athlete, really. We ate well. We were strong. And then the breaking down of a culture weakens it. And once you're weak, you're controllable. And that's why I've never been weakened. I have a
You're
belief
not
system.
controllable.
No, I love my sport, and I seen the strength in it, and it carried me, and I'm also grateful. And then this came, and this is my strength and passion as well. So, yeah, I've worked with different sport organizations because of it, because I'd like people to see the combination of the vision.
Yeah.
There's a saying, without a vision, people perish. And if we were on the verge of that, we're back strong again. And it's trickling back into all the parts of our life that we need to stand on. So yeah. So this blanket that you're wrapping around yourself here is a mother and a daughter. My sister and I, her name's Robin, we've worked together off and on ever since we started weaving. In fact, she was my teacher for patterning. And when we got asked by the Museum of Anthropology to do them a blanket, the original's 10 feet long, and it hangs there. You can see it anytime. So we decided I said, Robin, let's dedicate this to Mom, because my mother raised 10 of us. My father passed when he was very young, so she raised us. And I said, you know, we've never really, you know, honored her in a way we should, so let's dedicate this to Mom, but to all mothers who've had to go and endure whatever they did. And so this is called Tan in our language, which means mother. And so all the patterns on here are a combination of all patterns we've learned throughout our life. And there's another saying, it's like, this is like the patterns of life and what we go through as people, as humans, as mothers, so all of these patterns sort of represent what we work through all of our life, and dedicated to mothers. So
And you can see there's a lot of patterns in here, so we mothers go through a lot.
That's for sure.
I mean, it's very full.
So
does the Goldeneye have any significance in your culture?
I don't know, but if you want to hear, but we used their feathers for also woven into this, that they were really rare because I think they're really special. So.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this information.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's wonderful for us to learn, and I'm excited to see this at our game, and hopefully bring more awareness to what you do and teach more people about your culture.